Hi, this is the Trade Father. I'm here with Koki and Hip Hip Jorge. Now, because of some requests, we're going to do a weekly outlook today. And so we're going to talk about the news and the dollar and the algo. Now, for this idea, you have to look at the algo, and you should look here at the trends on the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour. Now, the go-to currency usually is the dollar yen. If we look at the dollar yen on the weekly, it's sideways bias up. On the daily, it's up, and the 4-hour is also up. So that means the dollar should be going up. All right, so we can anticipate the dollar going up. And the question I want to ask myself is the dollar going into supply, or does it have a racetrack to keep going up? All right, so what do you think, Koki?
So I was thinking, so why do you pick the dollar yen?
Okay, I picked the dollar yen because the yen is a fear gauge. If not, I'd also pick the dollar CAD. All right, I want to see if the yen, what is the currency in play for that day? Right now, I want to see if I can find the currency in play for the week. And right now, if I look at the weekly, sideways bias up, and if I come to the chart, I can see that the US dollar index, it's up with a setup on the daily, and it's sideways bias up confirmed on the weekly. The pink line is an area of resistance as well as an area of supply. Okay, now last week, for example, you had this racetrack right in here to make some money. So that was a very easy week. I don't know if you guys traded with us or traded during the week, but we had 3 days where price was moving very aggressively. So within that circle was the racetrack to take it up. Okay, so right now we have the price moving up. The dollar is actually going neutral on the daily, neutral sell, and we have it approaching this area. So I'd be cautious at the beginning of the week to see what the reaction is. I would like to see the dollar come down and take this racetrack over here. Let's see. I'd like to see the dollar come down and take that racetrack right in there for an easy trading day. Okay, so if we come over here to the news, all right, so we're looking over here, and now the dollar's going up. So let's analyze the charts a little bit. So if the dollar's going up, the US dollar index is going up, we can see that the dollar CAD is sideways biased down, all right? And it's anchor breaking to the downside on the daily, all right? So that's in the wrong direction of the US dollar index right now.
So what does that indicate?
It indicates that we have to stay away from the CAD. The more favorable trade would be the euro, since it is already going down, sideways biased down. Let's see, the Aussie is also going down. So I'd favor the Aussie, New Zealand, and the euro over the CAD. And if we look at the pound should be going down, but it's actually going, it's sideways biased down on the daily, but it's uptrend setup on the weekly. So that's not as high a probability trade as the weekly here on New Zealand dollar going sideways down and the Aussie dollar going sideways down. Because that means these can go down while the dollar goes up. Now, again, we're going into an area of supply. So if the dollar goes down, then these should go up. Now, the only one that's easily going to go up right now would be the pound. If the dollar goes down, then the pound still has a reason to keep going up.
Okay, so it's kind of setting up for that, just in case. That's a if-then statement.
Yes, you guys, all the traders should always have an if-then statement. When I walk up to traders now, I say, okay, if the dollar goes up, what are you going to trade? If the dollar goes down, what are you going to trade? Show me something you're going to trade. Show me something that has a dominant push. When I mean dominant push, you see the New Zealand dollar? You see how it's down, down, down on the weekly, daily, 4-hour? Okay, so we have a green on this side. That means it's a corrective move, a pullback before it wants to go down on these other higher time frames. Now, day traders can make money on the longs. Comes up here, the swing traders and position traders start to engage and go short.
Okay.
It's all about that balance with the teeter-totter effect. All right, does that make sense?
That makes total sense.
All right.
For you.
Yeah. All right, so if we come over here to the news. All right, so what do we have for the news this week?
So we have looks like a busy week. Mondays all the way down to Friday. We have a lot of news coming out.
All right, so what I look for, though, is when I'm looking at the news, we just talked about New Zealand, yes?
Yeah.
So that means we can get a kick on New Zealand, pound, and right here, you see New Zealand again and the Aussie. All right, so the New Zealand and the Aussie are both lining up with the dollar right now. So those would be your easier trades those days. Remember, the pound is going in the wrong direction, right? So this pound news right here tomorrow it may be different. It may change the direction, and that's what I want to be aware of. But these other ones right here show me that they, we have an opportunity to make easy money if these kick along with the dollar, especially when the Aussie and New Zealand news come out.
So do you follow anything to do with like the pound news regarding Brexit or like what's going on with Trump and the trade war, et cetera?
For me, I always look at the chart, and the chart's going to tell me, is Trump saying something that will affect the dollar? Then we'll see some movement in the dollar. If the trade war is affecting the yen or the dollar or the pound, then we should see some reaction on the chart. I know people like to speculate about the news. They say, hey, what do you think about this news? And I'm like, okay, did it affect the chart? Did the chart move? Did something happen? If the chart didn't move, then don't put so much weight on it because the news is already out. Okay, so the chart should have already shown you something that would have reacted off that news announcement, right? Because people are always speculating. I said, don't speculate. Go look at the chart. If something happened, if nothing happened, then don't bother thinking about it. Think about what is the chart telling you that you can do.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we looked at the news. Right here is the news, and we can see we're getting a lot of news on New Zealand. Here's New Zealand again with Aussie. Three news is on the Aussie. Here's Aussie CAD. The dollar is going to come and play on Tuesday. Then we get dollar news on Wednesday. The big dollar news, though, is going to be Friday. We get average earnings, non-farm payroll, and unemployment rate all at the same time, half an hour after.
Yeah, also with the CAD, too.
And the CAD, yep. So we're going to get some news. If you notice, we're not getting any big red news on the pound this week. And we're also not getting any news on the Swiss. And we are not getting any news on the yen. Okay, so that means you should start favoring the positions. Again, if I come back over here and we look at the chart, I want to see this. All right, so you see over here on the New Zealand dollar, you see how it's down and it's down and it's down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all three are down. If I come over to the Aussie, sideways bias down, this is also down. Now this one is making a corrective move up, sideways bias up, confirm. So while these are going down, this square is a corrective move going up, and that's the 4 hour is the corrective move going up. All right, so which one is the easier trade? Well, the easier trade is New Zealand, because they're all pointing down. For this trade to work, though, we need the what? The dollar to go up, right? To take on that level of resistance.
Okay, cool. I think that's what I'll be setting up for the morning trading.
Right, we should be looking at it over here for the morning trade. This is the easier push, especially if you're on the higher time frames.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we looked at the dollar. Again here, if I go back to the chart of the dollar, so the dollar is going up to this level right here. This level is also a quarter level. It's very close to the 475. All right, so I know it's at this angle, it's all above the moving averages, so everything is strong. If you look at the 4 hour, it was uptrend with a setup, and now it's starting to go up. It took out these orders in supply, these sell orders right here, so it has room to go back up now. Okay, so we'll have to look and see what the market open does for it. Now, the next part, let's see. You talked about the trade war, Trump impeachment. We have to see what the Brexit news is going to be like.
We don't have a whole lot of news on pound
no.
This week, right?
This week we got hardly any news on the pound and the yen. So it's all about what's happening. In fact, you know what? You may want to trade the Asian session this week because the Aussie and New Zealand are moving strong this week. So you may want to trade Asia.
Okay, cool.
All right, so what do you think, Hip Hip?
All good. Looks like got quite a bit of information to start the week with.
Okay.
All right.
This week we're going to be live.
Yeah, we're broadcasting live for both London and US Open.
That's right. So come on in, ask your questions.
Every day at 3 a.m. Eastern.
Every day, 3 a.m. Eastern. We'll be there for London, and we'll also be doing New York Open.
Okay, cool.
All right. So log on or send us your questions. Send your questions to team@growupairandtrade.com or log in and ask your question.
All right. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Okay, there's a nice plug. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
All right. Have a good one.